If you look at this over time, you can see, not surprisingly, that presidents are more likely to stonewall if the scandal involves them. So you can see in almost 80% of the cases where there's some potential for stonewalling, presidents tend to do so. The number in percentage is a lot lower if you look at cabinet members, agency heads, or other appointees. It's between 40 and 50%. So you can see a massive drop-off in terms of the strategy here, right? Again, if the president's involved, there's a good chance it's going to get found out. But if other people are involved, it might not register. And so the likelihood is lower of it being discovered, and therefore you see the lower likelihood of them telling the truth about it. The least amount of stonewalling happens if it's a nominee or the first lady. For a nominee, you can just cut them loose, right? To say, hey, sorry, made a mistake, we're not having you anymore. For the first lady, I don't know how to read that. I guess it's because the first lady can't be like just sort of ignored. That's not done, but it could be that it's the case that they simply, consider it family and off limits. So it's possible that's what's happening, but not totally sure. But let's talk about sort of the conditions in which they're likely to stonewall. So I gave you some kind of theoretical moments where we're likely to see presidents stonewall or not. And just to kind of recap and extend some of those things, you can see here the kind of probability that a president will stonewall or not based upon some of those conditions. So obviously, like I just showed you, when the president's involved, they're 40% more likely to stonewall. If the scandal is political, then they're 73% more likely to stonewall. This is the Nixon scenario. What did he say? I'm not covering up the criminal activity, I'm covering up the political mess. Well, that's exactly what we see here, and basically he proves this point.